I think sometimes evaluating your budgets can also mean knowing where to cut. For example, I was recently reviewing a client that I've worked with for a long time and their budgets. And, we used to spend on newspaper. That's not something that for this particular client in their market, I would ever recommend today. Um, so that was a decision where we reevaluated budgets and reduced over time. I think the same thing goes for linear TV and cable right now, where we're seeing so many cord cutters. There's opportunity to look at that budget and ask if that still makes sense. So while it can initially, when you hear evaluate and audit and avoid stagnant budgets, you immediately go, oh, well, I don't want to increase. You also could, without evaluating your budgets, be continuing to invest in tactics that in your market don't make sense anymore. So it could free up money to allocate more to retargeting, where if you're driving more website traffic this year than you were last year, you want to make sure that you're increasing that budget a little bit to stay in front of all of that traffic that you're getting. And sometimes you can do that by reducing budget and tactics that maybe made sense a couple of years ago, but no longer do. So it's not just about increasing spend, but it's looking at where maybe it doesn't make sense to invest anymore.
I think that's the advantage of looking at it at like a 30,000 foot view rather than kind of being reactive in that 30-day mindset. Because that's where you almost have like a runaway budget because you're like, oh, we had a bad month last month. Let's add so much more budget in because we have to make up for it, rather than having like a clearly established plan throughout the year where you understand your selling seasons and where you can kind of toggle pieces of your media mix rather than, seeing something and adjusting on the fly. And then next thing you know, it's 3 months down the line and you're spending $40,000 more than you were because you're just reacting to every month that may not be statistically significant and provide enough data to really make a performance decision.
And I think just as we're auditing, strategies and budgets going into 2025, making sure you're setting long-term goals for yourselves and your marketing plans. Because if you're not setting goals and you're just going on the fly every single month, it's going to be really hard to accomplish anything, especially if you haven't set a goal of what you want to accomplish. So that's another thing to just be really, thinking about as we're getting ready for 2025.